Hey, what's up, guys? It's Shaq. Today I'm going to tell you guys why I chose the iPhone SE over any other phone. So, if you guys know already, I got the iPhone 6 when it first came out, which was about a year and a half ago, I guess. And I got the 6S when that first came out, about half a year ago. And if you already guys know, it's a 4.7 inch screen in the iPhone 6 and 6S and a 5.5 inch screen in the Plus models. Now, I got the normal models both times. And if you also know, if you've been following my channel, you would know that I cracked my 6S, which is right here. Show you guys, it's cracked. You can see it's cracked there. Spider webs this way and shit. And then you have a little crack up there. So it's cracked. Aside from the crack, which I really didn't mind, I didn't want to fix it. I could have fixed it. It wasn't a big deal. I was getting kind of a little tired of the phone. The shape, I don't really like the round shape of it. Shape was getting old. Phone was getting old. I mean, it worked fine. It was fast and all that stuff. But I was, without the case, it would be slippery, and I don't like the way it looked. Honestly, I don't think it looks too good anyway, the shape, compared to the 5S, of course, or the SE. And with cases, I don't know, I wasn't having it. I was willing to wait it out until I got the 7, which is in, whenever it comes out in 6 months or whatever. But then Apple decided to release the iPhone SEs, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. And let me tell you guys right now why I switched to the iPhone SE. So, there's a few things lacking from the iPhone SE compared to the 6S. Now, both of these phones right here are just as fast. If anything, this one probably is faster because it has to push less pixels, so it's using the same chip. So it has to do less work with the same chip, so this might be a little faster. But I don't really do any hardcore gaming on my phone. If anything, that would be on my iPad, so it doesn't really count for me. Aside from that, I love the fact that it's 4-inch screen, so I can use it. I can touch the whole screen. I can fit my hand around it. This, on the other hand, I can still do that. It still works. I can still text. I can get my hand all the way across, but it's just not as easy. It's just not as nice as having something that's easier to hold because it's got the rectangular shape, and overall also looks better. I mean, in my opinion, the SE, the 5S, and the actually 5 too look a lot better than the 6s. You can argue that the 4 might look better, but honestly, I think the best looking iPhone ever made was before I used to say it was the 5S. Now I'm gonna have to say it's the the SE, and the reason is even in the same color, the SE looks a lot better, and simply that's because the Apple logo is made of a different material, as well as the edges are matte, they're matte colored, so they can't get scratched as easily as these chamfered edges used to get scratched. You can see, I mean, it's got some tape on it, but you can see it's pretty much scratched up a little. So I would have to say the nicest iPhone ever built, in my opinion, would be the SE, and that's one of the really big selling points for me. And before that, of course, I thought the 5S was the best, looking iPhone. As well as one that, I liked a lot. I had the iPhone 5S for about a year. Pretty much like a month or two after the 5S was released, I bought it, and I had it all the way up until I got my 6. And honestly, I had a really good time with it. I dropped it a billion times. It never cracked. I dropped my 6S a billion times too. I dropped my 6 a billion times. Unfortunately, it cracked once. So it's really not that. I'm not testing durability or anything. I think both of these phones are made really well. But from overall, dimensions and the way it feels in your hand, I just had to choose this one over this one. Now, as far as features that I'm, going to be missing out on, the only thing my 6S really has that my my SE doesn't have is a better front-facing camera. So in my 6S, I could take better selfies than I could take in my SE. But the simple fact of the matter is I don't take selfies, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, a lot of people take selfies, and if it matters to you that much, by far do it. But Honestly, I never take selfies. It's usually back camera for me. And even though these two back cameras aren't the same, they're close enough. They both are 12 megapixels and they can record 4K video, both of them. You know, that 4K video really matters a lot to me because YouTube, so I'm making 4K video a lot. Uh, the SE has a lower aperture, which is, it's alright. I mean, you wouldn't really tell the difference unless you really tried to tell the difference. So, as far as that, I think it's worth it. There's another big selling point, which is the price. This phone right here is 120 gigs, and it costed me $849. Okay, I'm gonna take the tax out, and even if I got the 64 gig version, it was gonna cost me $749. This, on the other hand, costs $400 if you get the 16 gig, and it costs you $500 if you get the 64 gig. So right off the bat, it's $250 cheaper than this thing for the same amount of gigabyte. Now, this thing still has live photos, but via long press. It doesn't have force touch, which, like I said, I never used. If you watch my other videos, I thought it was kind of pointless because it would take me more time to get used to, if I'm looking at the camera, right? Instead of doing this and then clicking it, I'm just used to it. It's much faster in my head to do that. Yeah, tests show it's faster to use force touch, but in my head to process, that, oh, I gotta use my thumb, I gotta press hard, that shit took longer than just actually opening the app. So I never used force touch except for when I was doing live photos. And in that case, you can still do live photos with this by a long press. So it works. I'm not really missing out on too much. They both have, Apple Pay. They both are really fast. The only really thing that I am missing out on, which I've had this phone for like 4 or 5 days now, and I realize it now, slightly the Touch ID. This is a second gen Touch ID sensor, while this is a first gen Touch ID sensor. And I understand they had to cut corners somewhere. I mean, $500 is still a great price range. So, I mean, yeah, it's just a slightly slower touch scanner, but it does the job. It never not worked. It always works. It just takes a second. And I can forgive it, for that. And that's the only thing that's really affected me downgrading to this phone. So, all in all, it was worth it. The only problem I was having when choosing was if I should get the rose gold or the space gray. Now, my 5S was space gray, and I loved it, and honestly, it was my favorite phone ever. But I was trying to switch it up, and, I've always gotten the space gray version for my daily phone. I've bought in other colors for fucking around and shit on YouTube. But for my personal daily phone, I always got in space gray. As you see there, now you got this right here. Another space gray SE. My 5S was space gray, and this is space gray too. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but those are really the main reasons why I switched over. To put it in simpler context. Put it in simpler context, the reason is this phone does everything this phone does, and I like the size, I like the shape better. Plus, it's cheaper. So I don't see why not. Honestly, if you guys don't mind a second of lag between your Touch ID, you don't take selfies, and you don't use Force Touch, and you like, this shape and this size better, and you get to save $250, it's worth it. I mean, even if you get the 16 gig version, you save $250. If you get the 64 gig version, you save $250. Unfortunately, there's no 120 gig version, but I mean, you don't really need 120 gigs in this tiny phone. So, I mean, it took me a minute to downside. I had to delete a lot of things, but I got it done and it worked. So, let me know what you guys think about this. This will be my new daily right here. This phone, this exact phone. Let me know what you guys think about it. Would you be willing to downgrade to a SE? I mean, it's still the newest phone, even though it's older look and old technology. Like I said, I like the shape, so, it's more opinion than facts. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. Look through it for more videos, actually. There's plenty of them up there. Follow me on Twitter at ShaxTweets. Follow me on Instagram at ItShaxInsta. And like this video, comment. Let me know what phone you guys have, how you like it. And most of all, let me know which iPhone you think was the nicest looking iPhone ever made to date. So that includes the first iPhone all the way up until the iPhone SE that came out last week. Uh, and if you want, let me know which iPhone you think was most innovative. I'll give you my answer right now, and I'll leave it in the comment section too. I think the nicest looking iPhone is the iPhone SE. Second to that, I'd say the nicest looking iPhone is the iPhone 5S, not the 5, the 5S. And the reason is because the color difference. On the 5, you just have a black phone, which is, this part is black, and this is also black. Here you have a space gray, which is black and then space gray. So I would say SE, then 5S. And then, as far as the most innovative iPhone, I would have to say the iPhone 4 was pretty groundbreaking. I didn't really use one as my daily for a long time, but as far as phones and technology, 2010, the iPhone 4 was extremely groundbreaking. It surpassed so many different expectations for everyone. It really created a new era for smartphones. And so the most innovative iPhone I would say was the iPhone 4, and the most good-looking iPhone to date, in my opinion, would be the SE, and second to that, the 5S. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and check in the description of this video for other videos about the iPhone SE, and look on my channel. Thanks.